You've taken responsibility. You've decided to rebuild. But here is the mistake most people make. They try to build a new life while still hanging on to their old world. You can't fly if you're still holding on to the weights that are dragging you down. You can't reach for the future if your hands are full of the trash from your past. This is the stage that no one likes to talk about because it's painful. It's the stage of elimination. Before you add new habits, before you learn new skills, you have to audit your current reality. You have to look at your life with a cold, clinical eye and ask yourself, is this serving the person I am becoming, or is it feeding the person I am trying to leave behind? Let's start with your circle.
There is an old saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's a cliché because it's true. Look at your friends. Are they talking about ideas, growth, and the future? Or are they talking about other people, complaining about the government, and waiting for Friday night so they can get drunk and forget their lives? You cannot become a high-value individual if you are surrounded by low-value energy. If you are the smartest, most ambitious person in your group is no longer a circle, it's a cage. You don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to make a big announcement. But you do have to distance yourself. Some people are meant to be in your history, not in your destiny.
The Great Deletion isn't just about people. It's about your digital environment. We talk about protecting your peace, but then we spend 6 hours a day scrolling through a feed that makes us feel angry, inadequate, or distracted. Every time you consume a piece of content, you are giving someone else permission to program your brain. Audit your feed. Unfollow the accounts that trigger your insecurities. Delete the apps that steal your time without giving you anything in return. Your attention is the most valuable asset you own. Stop giving it away for free to people and platforms that don't care about your soul. Now, let's talk about your identity. Most of us are walking around with a victim software installed in our minds.
We blame our parents, our boss, our DNA, or the city we live in. We use our past trauma as a shield to protect us from the effort of the present. The Great Deletion means deleting the word can't from your vocabulary. It means deleting the if-only excuses. It means realizing that your story, the one you tell yourself about why you aren't successful yet, is actually the thing keeping you from success. You have to kill the old version of yourself so that the new version can breathe. In America, we have this obsession with more money, more followers, more stuff. But real growth usually starts with less.
Less noise, less clutter, less fake friends, less distraction. When you eliminate the non-essentials, something incredible happens. Clarity. You finally see the path. You finally hear your own intuition. You realize that you don't need 1,000 things to be happy. You need 3 or 4 things that are worth dying for. This is the architecture of the new you. You are clearing the land. You are digging the foundation. It's not pretty work. It's dirty. It's lonely. And people will judge you for it. They will call you different. They will say you've changed. They will say you're acting brand new. Good. You are brand new. That was the whole point. Don't be afraid of the emptiness that comes after the deletion.
Most people are so afraid of being alone or being bored that they fill their lives with garbage just to feel full. Embrace the space. In that space, you will find your standards. What is a standard? A standard is the floor. It's the absolute minimum you are willing to tolerate. Most people have goals, but they don't have standards. They want $1 million, the goal, but they tolerate being lazy and disorganized, the standard.
If you want a high-level life, you have to raise your standards. You have to decide that you no longer tolerate average. You no longer tolerate people who disrespect your time. You no longer tolerate your own excuses. The great deletion is about becoming unfuckwithable. It's about building a mental fortress that is so strong, no outside influence can shake it. Once you have cleared the land, once you have deleted the junk, once you have raised the floor, then and only then are you ready for the next step. Then you are ready to go low-key. Then you are ready to build that empire in the dark. Because now, you aren't building to impress your old friends. You aren't building to get revenge on your ex. You are building because it is who you are.
This is the hardest part of the journey because it requires you to be honest with yourself. It requires you to admit that you were the one holding yourself back. But once you accept that, you become unstoppable. The trash has been taken out. The ground is clear. The blueprint is ready. Now it's time to get to work. Let's go deeper into this deletion. Because most of you will listen to this. You'll feel a spark of motivation, and then you'll go right back to the same environment that broke you in the first place. Why? Because you're afraid of the empty space. You're afraid that if you stop hanging out with those lukewarm friends, you'll have no one. You're afraid that if you stop scrolling, you'll have to face the silence of your own thoughts. But let me tell you something. Loneliness is the price of admission for a greatness you haven't met yet. You cannot expect to reach a new destination while traveling with the same people who are comfortable being lost.
The great deletion requires you to be an executioner of your own ego. You have to look at the version of you that failed, the version of you that lied to yourself, and you have to let that person die. In history, when great commanders reached a foreign shore, they would burn the boats. Why? Because it sent a clear message to their soldiers. There is no going back. We either win or we perish here. Are you willing to burn your boats? Are you willing to burn the safety net of your excuses?
Most people are negotiators. They try to negotiate with their goals. I'll work hard, but I still want to party on the weekends. I'll start the business, but only if it's not too risky. Success does not negotiate. Success demands a total surrender of who you used to be. You don't get to keep your old habits and your new life. It is an impossible trade. Now let's audit your time. Everyone says they don't have enough time, but everyone has the same 168 hours a week. The difference is that winners invest their time, while losers spend it. When you spend time, it's gone forever.
When you invest it, it pays dividends. If I looked at your screen time report right now, would it show the habits of a king or the habits of a peasant?
If I looked at your bank statement, would it show a person building a legacy or a person buying temporary dopamine to hide their permanent misery? The great deletion means cutting out the cheap thrills. Stop looking for the shortcut. Stop looking for the hack. And start looking for the heavy lifting.
You have to develop a relentless no. In our society, we are taught to be people pleasers. We are taught to say yes to every invitation, every favor, and every distraction because we don't want to be rude. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't matter, you are saying no to your future. You are saying no to your dreams. You are saying no to the family you haven't provided for yet. Learn to say no without an explanation. Do you want to come to this party? No. Why? Because I'm busy building something you wouldn't understand. This is the shadow work. It's the part of the process that isn't cinematic. It's the late nights where you're tired, you're lonely, and you're questioning if any of this is worth it. But this is where the character is forged.
Character isn't what you do when the world is watching. It's what you do when you are completely alone and you have every reason to quit, but you keep going anyway.
The world is full of halfway people. People who are halfway in the gym, halfway in their marriage, halfway in their career, and they wonder why they have a halfway life. The deletion is about going all in. It's about deciding that from this moment forward, you are a high-standard individual. You don't do average. You don't do good enough. You don't do tomorrow. You do it now, you do it right, and you do it until it's finished. When you clean your house, you don't just move the dirt from one corner to another. You throw it out. You have to do the same with your mind. Stop rearranging your toxic thoughts and start deplatforming them.
Once the deletion is complete, there will be a period of zero. A period where you feel like nothing is happening. Don't panic. This is the fertile void. This is the empty plot of land where your empire is about to be built. It is silent. It is clean. It is ready. You have pruned the dead branches. Now the tree can finally grow. Now you are ready for the silent flex. Now you are ready to move into the dark and start the real work. Because you aren't carrying the weight of the past anymore. You are light. You are focused. You are dangerous. The audit is over. The trash is gone. The boats are burned. Welcome to the beginning of your real life.